Hey, I'd like to talk to you today about being intimate with someone before marriage. As a teenager, I'm assuming that's the people who would be watching this. As a teenager, that's something that everybody does and talks about and kind of expected out of you, maybe. Um, but whether it's right or wrong, if you're trying to decide, I'd like to give you my opinion that I believe it's wrong. And that is not the, I guess, decision that I made. I did have sex before marriage, and it it has worked out bad, of course, like it has for a lot of people. So I would like to make a couple analogies that probably seem silly to you. One of them is about ice cream, and the other one is duct tape. So if nothing else, you have to watch the rest of this just to see how I can tie all that in. But I guess we could start with the ice cream. Let's just say that you've never had vanilla ice cream before. Never had any ice cream before. So someone introduces you to vanilla ice cream. You have that ice cream. You really like it. I mean, you're obsessed with it. It is the greatest thing ever. You're thinking, this ice cream's magic. How could it be this good? And after you have had a fair amount of this ice cream and you like love it and you're used to it, and it's there all the time. All of a sudden, the brand of ice cream, Tom's brand, we'll just say Tom's brand. Let's just say Tom's brand of ice cream stops selling vanilla ice cream altogether. They're like, okay, whatever, not profitable. We're just not going to do that anymore. So you can't get your vanilla ice cream anymore. It's like you and that ice cream have broken up. All right. So now you're trying to find a way to fill that void. All right. And you're thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll try another kind of ice cream. Maybe I'll try somebody else's vanilla ice cream. And I hate to throw a brand out there. Let's just, whoever, um, let's just say brand X. You try their ice cream. And their vanilla is not quite as creamy as the one that you gotten used to and that you just love and you're obsessed with. Doesn't taste as vanilla. It's just not as good ice cream. You don't like it. You tried it and it was okay, but then you're thinking, okay, well, maybe I'll try another brand of ice cream, and you try another one, and maybe it's a little creamier, but the texture's bad, or it just doesn't taste as vanilla as the other one, or um, whatever the case is. So anyway, the first vanilla ice cream was very special, and it was like a treat to get that ice cream. But now, after you have tried two or three vanilla ice creams, um, it it's not special anymore. It's vanilla ice cream, and you like it, but it's not like, nothing is like the first vanilla ice cream that you had. So that kind of relates to the first time you're intimate with a person. If you're a girl, it would be the first time you're intimate with a boy, and vice versa. So there's nothing that's going to add up probably to that first time that you were intimate. And you're always going to compare every other time to that first one. And the more you do that, the less special it is, and the more reasons that you're going to have to decide that, well, this isn't quite right. This isn't quite like, the other one. So I don't want it. I'm going to try another one. Okay? So that's one way that I guess an analogy that of why it, if you I guess if you try one after the other and so forth, it gets less and less special. Okay. the other thing that I guess the analogy that I had is duct tape. Okay, and that's really the one that I wanted to make this video about, but the ice cream thing kind of fit, so I thought I'd throw it in there. Um, let's just say that we're going to represent a relationship with this duct tape. All right, and let's just say that you meet a boy and you guys start dating. Okay, now you're dating. Okay, you guys get really close. Okay, and the longer you spend with him, the more attention that you get from him, the more affection, the more rubbing and touching, the more contact you have with him, the closer you bond to him, just like this tape does. This tape is bonding to me right now. It's fresh, it's brand new. This tape has never been on anyone or anything before. So this kind of represents a relationship. All right. After you have dated a while and you find that you have some problems and you don't feel like that you should work those out, or it's not worth working out, or somebody cheated, somebody lied, somebody did something you didn't like, okay? If you're not married, it is very easy to walk away from that. If you were married, that would take more consideration, because there's a lot to get out of that. There's lawyers, there's paperwork, there's money, there's time. They just don't give you a divorce in a week, you know. So it takes you a while to get out of that. So it's worth considering that you're going to that you're going to work it out. If you're married, most likely you've dated for long enough to see whether you really like that person, to see if you fit together, you know. And that's not to say that you would get married in a couple weeks, you know, or 6 months. I would think that, you know, you would date for a reasonable amount of time and decide that you guys are in love. But let's just say you didn't do any of that. Let's just say you dated for just a little bit, and that boy didn't have very good intentions. And he said, well, you know, I got what I want. Thank you very much. You were a great girl, but I met Sally at the mall, and I think we're going to go out, you know. So that ends for you. Okay, so you guys break up. Oh my gosh. Okay, so that hurt. A breakup hurts. The more bonded you are with someone, the more it hurts. The longer this duct tape stayed on my arm, the more it would hurt. If I had a chance to sit here for a day with this on my arm, it would hurt much worse than it just did. So if this represents a relationship, this is you now. This duct tape is you, and you bonded to somebody, and you guys had something special, and now that's over. So you meet another person, and you're thinking, okay, you know, this guy is not like the first guy, and I think he's really nice, and we've been dating for a few months. I think that, you know, I'm going to lose him if I don't sleep with him, or if I'm not intimate with him, I'm going to lose him, you know. So I have to do something to keep him, because he's great, you know. He's really a great guy. So you dive back into the pool, and you are intimate with this guy, and you guys stay together for a while, and you decide that you know, that you guys are going to make it, and you guys You guys have all kinds of time together and so forth. But it's harder to bond with him because you're comparing him to the last guy. And it is harder for you to bond because now the one special gift that you had to give yourself to somebody for the very first time is gone. Now, all you have is that you're going to be faithful. And now, after you guys have dated for a while, you have an argument about something stupid. You guys fight and you decide, okay, I'm going to break up. Or he's going to break up. Whatever the case is, you guys aren't married, so it is very easy to walk away from that. All right? So you walk away and you're thinking, okay, I'm just not going to put up with him talking to me like that, or he talked to some other girl, or, he lied to me, whatever it was that's not worth working out. So you break up. Now let me tell you, that did not hurt near as much. Half the sticky is gone. It is very hard. I would have to rub this duct tape forever to get it to bond even near as close as I did the very first time it stuck to my arm. So that means, in comparison, that you would have to really work a relationship to feel the same amount of special and the same bond and the same connection that you did with the very first person, because it seemed like magic. Okay? So now, 2 people down, you're saying, okay, I can't just give up. I'm going to try it again. I met somebody, they're great, all the same stuff again. They're great. All right, here we go. We're going to date. Okay, so there you are. And I don't care how much I press. I don't care how much I rub that duct tape in. Whatever I do to that duct tape is not going to bond as nicely as what it did originally with the very first time. That special feeling, that magic, that is never going to happen again. Not to say you're not ever going to find happiness, but that one bond, that one gift that you have from God is gone. You have given that to somebody that now is out of the picture. They it may have been years. It may just be that they don't hardly remember your name. You've wasted that one gift. And as I pull this duct tape again, it's representing breakup after breakup after breakup. And if you get some duct tape and you try this, you're going to see, that the stickiness, just like the ability to bond with a person, leaves pretty quickly. And people get remarried all the time. People, have different boyfriends and different boyfriends, and they really, really have to work to bond themselves to somebody, and for that person to bond to them. But if you choose to wait and save being intimate for the marriage bed, like the Bible tells us to, that one special feeling could be all you'll ever know. If you know somebody who got married right out of high school and they're still married, and they love each other, they get along, they have fun together, they have what seems to be a really nice life. You can never tell what happens. You're going to have fights and so forth. But it would take them a lot of work to get out of that relationship. So that, as adults, is something that you have to think about. Am I really going to throw all of this away and call a lawyer and do all the things that I would have to do just because he talked to somebody else? Just because he lied about where he went last night? The more serious that things get, the more we can tolerate and make better decisions. So I guess what I'm saying is, don't give away that one special thing that you have. And if you do wait for the marriage bed, then that is something that if that person waited for the marriage bed as well, if both of you are pure when you get married and you bond the way that God intends you to bond, there is no amount of talking to somebody else or lying or staying out all night. That stuff's just way less likely because neither of you are going to want to do that. And also, the bond will be so great with the two of you that that it would take an act. It would take some enormous thing to separate you. But if you think this stuck good because one person was pure and one person bonded with somebody else, try taking 2 pieces of duct tape and sticking them together and see what kind of bond that creates and see what kind of truck pull you have to get those apart. So no matter how silly this analogy is, it is true. And the gift that you're going to give away as a teenager because peer pressure or because someone says that you should or because you think you're going to lose the person, if you lose him over something like that, you never had him because he is just there to get what he wants. And it could be the same with a girl, you know. I mean, that girl might be someone who's experienced and she may want to go out with the football player or may want to go out with the cool guy in his class, you know. And if that guy is pure, then he is also going to give away the one gift that he has. He only has it one time. And that special bond that you have that is reserved in the Bible for the marriage bed is something more to consider than whether you're going to be popular to the 5 people that you run around with in school. So you may think it's stupid for this video, but I hope that at least it makes you think about what's happening around you and what life's going to be like after you get away from those 5 people that you're trying to make happy right now, just because you guys run around. So anyway, I hope this video helps, and that hurt bad enough to where I probably am not going to redo it. So good luck.